Hey YouTubes. So this is gonna be a little bit of a different format video. Um, so number one, my friends and I from the Navy are going to be doing like duel nights via Master Duel, uh, fairly soon. That's number one, and number two, we're going through all of my binders of trading cards, starting with my non-Yu-Gi-Oh cards because it's the smallest binder, and then going through the rest of the binders, except for my Japanese collection today. I'm just gonna flip through the binders and we're gonna roll, man, roll. Okay, so trying to limit the glare. Meow. This was a promo for one of the movie promos. Um, Other than that, everything else is Pokemon. We got one magic card which has blood on one side and bat on the other. Freaking Christ. So tired of this. See all that? That's all good stuff. Alright. Then we got the backs of these cards. And then we got Star Wars and Lego cards. More Star Wars, including Episode 2, Obi-Wan, and Django. Unchained Fett. We got my Lego trading cards for one of the race games things. Chima trading cards. We got my limited run cards, which are all right here. And I got more. Give me a moment. And then these were for the Shantae limited run physical edition. First edition physical edition. And then some fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards. My Valentine as a field center, completely inappropriate. Silent Edition, completely undressed. And Limited Magician, completely undressed. Then we've got official field centers down here. Ghost Ogre and Winter Cherries and Pegasus and all these other field centers that I've collected throughout the years, um, including Kaiba and Joey. Then um, sorry, uh, other business called, um, and I'm sorry for rubbing my face. The nervous ticks I inherited from other sailors. Um, this is my LOB, or sorry, this is my classic collection from the 25th anniversary packs that me and my friends opened on stream. We got Lil Karibo here, Legul, um, right, Milius, Radiant, and all that sort of stuff. Um, Protector, Queen's Double, Protector of the Throne, Spirit of the Pot of Greed, which actually, Spirit and Avatar can't be played. There are 3 cards in the game that physically cannot exist in the game, that cannot physically play in the game. Spirit of the Pot of Greed, and Avatar of Greed, which allows you, when put in tandem together, to draw up to 10 total cards when your opponent or you play Pot of Greed. So, if they're all on the field at the same time, you can draw a maximum of 10 cards. There's that. Here's this page. I'm trying to keep the binder straight and true. Hane, my favorite. One of my favorite Disruptor cards ever printed in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. And there's that. Doppelganger. I love that card too. Penguin Soldier. An excellent little destruction card. If your opponent's field, it's too bad it's a flip monster, so it's really slow, but you get it off, you can get it doesn't target. So technically you can in fact take care of monsters with no targeting abilities. It does not target. So if you only have 2 monsters on your side of the field, I can pick and choose which monsters get destroyed, but it's not considered targeting. That is a W in my book. Um, yeah. Getting to more modern cards. Taz of the Zappa, Mental Tuner, and then we got Torpedo Fish, which you might have recognized from our duel, our draft duel. One of my friends used that in his fishy deck. Injection Fairy Lily. Cards that are missing are probably in my burn deck. I just haven't fixed the sleeves. The treasure burn deck is decent, but it's not a viable strategy in the modern meta. So Ahsoka Pillar, basically the one that you say Fudo used in prison, is not a viable deck. Just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. And then we got just some normal monsters here. I do love me some Nillers, some Nilla monsters, especially the Japanese original arts, which um, Watermonix, as you see there, which has scales on her chest in the English version, is actually completely risque in the OG Japanese version, which is why she has a very, very low waifu tax, but she does have a waifu tax, as do most of the other female monsters in Japan. Anyway, my structure decks. We're getting in the structure deck territory now. And kind of deck territory now and all that other stuff. Fire Fists. Uh, one of these was for the Evil Sword structure deck. Um, Dino Fighter structure deck, I think there was one. Word Poison. Um, yeah. good, good cards. Good classic cards. Shining Angel. I have a lot of cards that actually physically just destroy monsters, disrupt spells and traps, and just make it a pain to do. My favorite way to play is to disrupt my opponent to where they don't even want to play. They just want their suffering to end. Um, but that is the way I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh. But I also play slower decks because I actually enjoy more than one turn killing my opponent. If I was to one turn kill my opponent, I would be a very, very sad duelist. Um, I don't like OTK decks because it's just basically playing solitaire. If you're playing solitaire, play solitaire. Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Play solitaire. And so that's the way I look at it. If I'm just playing versus myself and I don't play through to the end if I'm losing, then I deserve what I get. I deserve to be sent to the Shadow Realm. I deserve to not play the game. If I can't find enjoyment in winning or losing, I don't deserve to play the game of life. So, yeah, I created a little Dark Magician deck. It's not complete yet, but it's just from the spare cards I've found in here. And I also created a Master Duel deck very similarly. Though not all the cards are in Master Duel for the deck I have physically because some of the cards haven't been released or some of the cards cause problems if more than one copy is put in the deck, and Master Duel does not want that to happen, so they just never added it. Take Magician's Valkyria. If two of them are on the thing, you're in a stalemate until your opponent can like what do you call it? Evenly matched or Harpy or Triple Tactics Talonit or any other card destruction effects that destroy individual or that destroy monsters on the field, or they can dark hold it. But dark hold's not a master rule, so there are ways to get around the lock of some of these older cards. Yada lock is not really a good strat. I tried it in my burn deck. It does not work for anything. Um, just being honest, it does not work. Um, because if it did, I would be using it. There would be a lot more people in the meta that would be using it. It was tried in the 2020 meta when it was released back to one copy, but they could release Pot of Greed back to one copy and probably everybody would play it, but everybody would have a way to play around it. So I don't see why Konami doesn't just release it to one copy per deck. Uh, Same with Graceful Charity. There are so many outs. Uh, there are so many hand traps that can be an out to Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity that I don't see why it's still on the ban list. It would be played in every single deck. They would have to reprint it, but um, because they would go for like 300 because they haven't been reprinted in a while. But they would have to reprint, modern Pot of Greed and Graceful Charities if they ever did that. I don't think Konami really wants to do that though. They're fine with the unbalanced, broken game mechanics that we already have, and having to have a textbook for a rule book because there are so many card interactions that if you don't know what the card does, you're kind of I don't know. You're kind of lost in the sauce, and the card interactions have different things. So, um, so for example, right? Um, if you summon Lava Golem, right? You have to tribute summon two of your opponent's monsters. And per the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh, it would it would be considered targeting if it was on the field already. But because you're summoning it from the hand, you're actually not targeting anything on the field for destruction or disruption to activate. You're just, you know, killing two monsters that you don't want to deal with on the field for the price of a single um, workbook, textbook narcissism. Sorry. This is going to be a pain. So this is my 3 of binder. Everything I think in here except for the spells and traps are 3 ofs. Um, or 2 ofs. I haven't figured that out. I know they're not really organized very well. Well, they're organized well, but they're not organized like together. So like I have 3 reptilian Naomi's, and that's not an organized page because it's only 1/3 of a page. Same with that one. Again, a lot of these cards that are missing are just cards I've had that I used in other decks or that I gave to friends before I left the military that dueled with me who wanted specific cards for the deck. Because as much as I love collecting and playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I do not have unlimited space for my card collection. Green, green. I got the green with a body, baby. Um. Anyway, we're just gonna rifle through it. All these are cards I got in other live streams. We're just gonna rifle through it as quickly as possible because I want this to be like 40 minutes or less. We still got 3 more binders. One more really, really thick binder, and the rest are really, really small. But yeah, this is the thickest binder that I have of cards. Um, it's a little over 200 pages thick, and unfortunately, it's going to take a while to get through the card pools that we have. Page of mostly dark magicians, legendary guy, yeah, Buster Bladers, threshold board, all these sorts of things. Beast King Barbados, one of the better non-targeting ones. Um, Eldritch the Golden Lord, my only copy from one of the Megatins from 2020 when it was reduced in rarity. As for me, I don't care about rarity as much as I do form and function, and I do not like Eldritch. I know how good he can be as a card. I just don't like it. You can play a card and not like a card, but I just don't like how he plays. I don't like how he recurs from the graveyard every turn. How he's pretty much a zombie basic that really can't go away until you have no more cards left. So it just creates a hard game without hand traps. And I honestly don't like hand traps either. I like the simpler days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we didn't have to deal with hand traps and other nonsense. And other things of that nature. Magical Cylinders, probably one of the better cards I have 3 copies of. 2 of them are in my burn deck. And the reason why is most of the time when I get attacked by a 3,000 plus beat stick, I have, or even let's say 22,000 beat stick or above, right? And I play Magic Cylinders, right? Then I play 2 copies of Magic Cylinders, right, in a row, and then I play the Magic Cylinders, and then banish mad the original Magic Cylinder, banish the 2 Magic Cylinders. That is 8,000 damage straight to the head on one single attack. So yes, it's a good card combo if you can pull it off, but it happens very rarely that I pull it off like FTK style or uh, second or third turn kill style. I don't really use it for like FTKs or OTKs, mainly because I'm not a big fan of FTKs or OTKs. I just do what I do. What I do, what I do, what I do. And then these are all my structure deck cards that I have left unorganized. And yeah, I do have a complete set of Exodia. These are just organized by level. Organize my monsters by level, and then by normal or effect monster. That's why Exodia wasn't on that first page of monsters. I'm living with only 3 hours of sleep today. Yeah! So that's always fun. Fun, fun, fun. Really, very much fun, boys. And yeah, I gotta start working on another Red Eyes deck um, for profiling once I get a job and can actually buy more cards. But this is my collection until I can get more cards. My current collection. See, when I was in school, I had to sell off a majority of my collection to pay some bills. And I made about $500 off my OG collection, and this is just the collection I've collected while I was in the military, excluding my OG collection. So I made about $500 in A school in Pensacola, Florida, and I don't even think that they sell cards that fast, Yu-Gi-Oh cards that fast in Pensacola. I think that I had so many old cards that it bumped up the price because they could actually sell them online for a higher price. Um, I know I had at least 3 soul exchanges, about 20 pot of greeds when I sold my original collection. And pot of greeds go for about $100 on Amazon, about $100 on eBay, and it's never coming off the ban list. So, they made more than their money back on my classic collection. Um, and of course, I'm not really interested in like continually collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I mean, sure, I'll collect a box of each set if I can afford it someday. But I'm not going to like go like, oh, I need every single card. No, no. I pretty much have the collection I want right now. Um, Other than sealed products to like gift to my kids and grandkids. Um, I'm really satisfied with what I've got right now. Um, if I could, I would have kept my. If I could go back in time, it would be to buy my OG Pokemon collection from the card shop I sold it at the age of 6 for $5 for my initial Yu-Gi-Oh debut. And won the Pokemon local championship here in North Texas at the age of 6. The only 6-year-old to ever win an actual tournament other than in Japan, um, surprisingly enough. Pokemon rules are way more complex than Yu-Gi-Oh! But Yu-Gi-Oh! Card mechanics are way more complex than any other card game, including Magic. Um, so, I mean, the cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes react with broken mechanics, which is why some of them will never be off the ban list. Um, Such as uh, Guardian Sword Elma or whatever. Actually, it's at one copy in the OCG, but it will never be off the ban list in the TCG because um, nobody plays Gearfried, the Iron Knight, in the OCG anymore. It's been power crept by too many other cards, too many better effects. And honestly, there's no reason to play Gearfried in the modern meta either, unless it's to just be a beat stick. Um, and because you have cards that can take out the recurring effect of Guardian Dagger Alma, I think it could come off the ban list, but will it? Probably not. It's the same reasons that Konami doesn't want Pot of Greed or these other um, or Graceful Charity off the ban list. It's because it just leads to bad gameplay mechanics. Mechanic wise, it leads to bad player base. Negative negative plays that really hurt the game. Um, so this is my really let's see. Yeah, this is my this is my most powerful card uh, binder. Um, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, Thunder King, the Lightning Kaiju, Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Basically, anything that you need for a Chaos deck or to just trounce your opponent, to outplay your opponent, it's in this binder. Um, Fusion Substitute, Fusion Gate, Branded Bond, Branded in White, Fusion Recycling Plant, which basically brings your monsters from. It's a field spell which allows you to discard one card and then add polymerization from your deck to hand. And all fusion card, all fusion polymerization cards are treated as polymerization. So you can really, realistically, only have 3 polymerizations, but with that field spell, you can have an infinite amount. Um, And Magical Scientist OTK is overrated. Number one, because it's just too damn slow. Like, every single thing that is currently banned from the early 2000s, that way of playing is too darn slow for the current meta. You're never going to win in first turn. The Magical Scientist FTK was a first turn kill, but you had to draw the necessary things in the first turn, or you automatically lost. Like literally, that is how it went. And with 3 Potteries, 3 Graceful Cherries, yeah, you could technically mill your entire deck until you got the cards you needed, but you also had to play like double summon in order to get both pieces on the field. Um, and at the same time. And you also had to have catapult turtle, which is a level 5. So you had to use cost down and double summon in a single turn in order to get both on the field. And it was highly, I don't want to say this, but it was highly luck based. And if you're playing a luck based strategy, you're going to lose about 75% of the time, give or take. And so I prefer not to deal with luck. I prefer to deal with power cards or just cards in general that help out the strategy. So I prefer burn because it is a guaranteed win condition after a set amount of turns. And I can also play some of the slower cards like Final Countdown if I want to just play like Burn Stall. Or I can play Burn Anti Meta. Or I can play Burn Control, which basically uses gravity bind to stop my opponent from playing cards or attacking with cards. The only thing gravity bind doesn't affect is links. So if they have links on the field, guess what? It doesn't have a level, so it's the only card not affected. Even synchros and XZs are affected by gravity bind. Link is the only card not affected by gravity bind. But that's where Master Restrict comes in. Master Restrict stops people from contributing cards. That includes 4 links. Yeah, there are ways around playing, but burn strategies are usually back row heavy instead of front row heavy, but have um, very niche capacity to succeed where other decks might falter. And technically, most of the burn cards are level 3s and belows. So if you really wanted to, you could build a really good burn deck fairly cheaply because the power cards, the chase cards like Dad, Chaos Sword, Dragon Spirit of Light, those all can cost some money. But I'm not talking like $100 worth, like obviously Pot of Greed, which hasn't been reprinted in a while. Talking maybe $1 to $10 maximum. Like most of the collection that I currently have, I would say it's $500-$600 total. I probably only paid maybe $100 to $150 for all the cards in my collection, and it's because when I was in the military, the stores that were on base sold cards for no tax, so they were tax free. They didn't increase the price; they just sold them tax free. So guess what? I got tax free. Now I can't resell them because technically, when you buy from the next, it is technically government property. So I can't technically, I can give these cards away, but I can't like resell them until specific time has gone by. And then this is my speed duel collection. And I don't play speed duel. These are packs friends gave me for like birthdays and other things and other holiday events on the ship. And I just kept them. I don't duel with these because I don't like the feel of these cards and the card sleeves, and because of the excess foiling, sometimes the cards can get damaged in sleeves. So I just leave them sleeved up in the book. So I don't, you know, I'm not tempted to use them. But yeah, the speed duel cards, they have this little etching that says speed duel on it, and it looks ugly in a standard mainstream deck. So I don't speed duel, and I don't use the speed duel cards. I know how to speed duel, but I don't like using them. binder. And then we got the two really, really small binders. And then in another stream, I'll show my Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh collection. But yeah, just two more binders. Bear with me. All right, here's my resonators. So my dark resonators, my fire and skin door, and just everything you need to just be the best duelist there ever was. Like Jack Atlas. Hey, Sammy. So, my favorite token is actually in this deck. Uh, it's the one with just Jack Atlas saying, "Ever the people's," says human on it. Cannot be used in an official duel. But also says it's a token. So technically, oh wait, never mind. It's not in this one. It might have been in the previous one. Let me see here. Ah, this one is a good one. This one is a good one. This is all my legendary deck collection. So it's got all the legendary decks in it, separated by deck. Four decks. So this is the Yugi Legendary Collection 1. This is the second deck in that. And then the third deck. One that beat the Pharaoh at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Decks 2. Legendary Decks 2 Kaiden. There we are. Legendary Decks 3 or Legendary Decks 2 Joey, I should say. Then we got Legendary Decks 3, the Duel Academy years, which includes Destiny Heroes. It's Heroes Unite. Is what the set is called. It has the Nordic monsters. Uh, and the Phantom Knights archetype. Yeah. And I must have sold my Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Dragons set. I know that I sold the FTK for Dark Magician deck, the Red Eyes deck, and that I made before I joined the Navy, and the Sidra OTK. I know that I sold those while I was in the Navy to make a little bit of a profit to fellow sailors. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.